Hi there, welcome to Klein Farm Channel. Today, we're just finishing up lunch here, and I'm thinking about going back out to that farm with all the Alice Chalmers. That I went and knocked on the door the other day and nobody was home. So I'm thinking, because it's Saturday, they might be home. I'm going to go knock on the door, but another thing, it's about 95 degrees outside, so I'm assuming they're old. But I don't know, so I don't know if, even if they are home, if they would want to be out in this heat to let me walk through and see all the tractors and everything to do a video. But I'm going to try. I'm going to finish up lunch here, then we're going to go see if I can get a hold of anybody over there or not. Because I really, really want to see that collection. Whether they let me video it or not, I want to see it. Because Farmall is my favorite, John Deere is my second favorite, Alice Chalmers is my third favorite. There's about 50 different brands of tractors, so number 3 is pretty high. But I really want to go see it. And I was thinking here just a little bit ago of I think about my old farm in Pennsylvania a lot. I did not want to leave there. It was a very tough decision, but I made it for the greater good. Because there were just a lot of bad people, bad characters, and nasty people around there. And I did everything I could to keep them away, but I couldn't keep them away. So I just left. For the greater good of my family, my kids, to be away from them nasty people. But so I had to pretty much sell everything I had and abandon everything up there. But when I was selling my Farmall H, the one that I've had videos of here recently, I was selling it to he's not a friend of mine, like let's say an acquaintance of mine. But I did a few business deals with him in the last couple years before I moved from Pennsylvania. But I do not like doing business with him at all. Like, he's like a known bad person. I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't want anything to come back from it. But like, his grandfather, like, he was a good friend of mine. I did a lot of business buying vehicles from him. I bought a lot of vehicles from him. But he owned a junkyard, and like, he would go and buy vehicles, not ones from the junkyard unless they were like really nice, but he would buy very good quality vehicles at car auctions and like sell them for a very fair price. Didn't mark up much at all. And I bought a few vehicles from him. But he had an 89 Dodge Ram up there that I was looking at, and I wanted to buy, and he said, well, that's not mine, that's my grandson's. I said, well, I kind of backed off, because like, I don't like his grandson. I didn't want to do any business with him at all. But he's like, no, and real good grandfather. But he's like, can you stay here a while I call him? And he has another Dodge. Is that 1999 one I had? I have pictures of it. I don't have any videos of it on here, but I had posted some pictures of it. It was a black second gen Dodge Ram, the 1999. And that was a nice truck, but I mean, it needed work after I bought it. I had to put some money into it, but well, I was kind of pressured into it. I wanted that 89 Dodge. And then they're like, no, how about this one? So, yeah, it was cool. I liked it, and it had a little bit of a lift to it. I don't like lifted trucks. I think lifted pickups are ridiculous, and I don't like lifted pickups. Now, lifted Jeeps can be nice if they're like 2 to 3, 4 inch lift. Anything more than that, no, that's trashy. But like 2 to 4 inch lift, maybe 6 inch lift if you have it classy, like doesn't look all trashy. It'd be nice. I'd like to put like a 2 or 3 inch lift on my WJ eventually, just to give it a little bit more ground clearance. But it doesn't need it, but it would just help a little bit. But anyway, I bought this truck from him. I think I paid him $2,500, I think. And I gave him, I think, $2,500 cash. No, maybe $1,500 cash. And I traded my 1999 Chevy 3500 dually, the big camouflage one, the diesel dually. I do have videos of it on here, but they're old videos. They're not real good videos. But anyway, all they did was cut that up for parts, because that Chevy, it needed a lot of rust repair. That was in Pennsylvania, and all vehicles up there, they just rust up, and they die. They don't last more than 10-20 years. Any more than that, they're just rust buckets, and they fall apart going down the road. But I wasn't really planning on moving. Like, I was really working on building my farm up. Like, I was buying tractors, buying equipment. I was really trying to get this 10-acre field behind me rented, but the guy wouldn't rent it to me, so I was looking further down the road, like maybe 2 or 3 miles down the road. There was a field I was getting ready to rent right when we were going to move, because I was going to make like my house there like the main part of it, but I was going to have other areas around. I was going to rent that field there, and I was going to maybe use my pap's fields down there at his farm and try to make it into a business like I want to do here. But in North Carolina, I want to make it one property, so I don't have to run all over the place. But in Pennsylvania, I was building it. I was getting my business plan in order. I was getting everything good how I wanted it to be. But then all hell broke loose pretty much. And it just got ugly. It got ugly very fast. And I made the decision that we have to move. There's absolutely no way we can stay here. So we moved. And I started selling off all my equipment, selling all my vehicles and my tractors and everything. And sold the animals, everything all. And only brought the Jeep, the WJ with the biggest U-Haul trailer I could get. Because that WJ has like a 7,500 pound towing capacity. You can pull a lot with that Jeep. So I got the biggest trailer they had. And just put in there what we had and came to North Carolina. The boys were getting a little restless there, so I took them out of their high chairs. But packed everything up, came back to North Carolina, and we just got to start over fresh. And that was 2 years ago, going on 3 years ago, I think. But I don't regret it yet. I would never regret leaving that situation. That was a horrible, horrible situation, and I hope nobody's ever in it again. Did I want to leave? No, absolutely not. I did not want to leave. I liked it there. I liked the area. There was just 3 or 4 very, very nasty people who I couldn't get to just leave us alone. I called the cops 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Didn't help. Pennsylvania cops are worthless. They do nothing. They don't care. But in North Carolina, the laws are a whole lot different. In Pennsylvania, all they have is state police. They don't have city cops. They don't have county cops. They don't have nothing. They have a sheriff for the county, but there's like one sheriff and there's like two deputies, and they don't do anything. Like, all they do is like serve papers on people. They don't pull people over. They don't come to your house. If you call 911, there's a guy in my house with a gun trying to kill me. The sheriff don't come. State troopers come, and it takes them about 3 hours to get there. So, Pennsylvania, you're on your own. North Carolina, sheriff is the boss. They have 30, 40, 50, 60 deputies. You call the cops, sheriff's gonna show up. Unless you're in a big city like Fayetteville, then Fayetteville police gonna show up and the sheriff gonna show up probably. And they'll be here in a few minutes. Like, North Carolina is a lot safer in that respect. But anyhow, back on track. I was selling my equipment, and I did have I was selling it very fast, and like I barely got what I paid for most of the stuff because like I had to go. Like, I put stuff for bare bottom prices. Like, what I sell me. I ended up selling the H twice actually. I'm getting to that. But most of the stuff I sold for less than I paid for it. I mean, and it was either sell it for what I could get or just leave it there when I left, because I left a lot of stuff in that house. A lot of stuff in the barn there, a lot of stuff in the sheds. I sold everything I could, but like left behind so much, like I couldn't even give away for free. But I called the guy who I bought the truck from. I ain't gonna use any names, but I said that I'm moving, and that truck, I like the truck. I put a lot of money into getting it fixed. I love the truck. I like them Chuck Norris era body styles. I had two of them. I had a 99 and a 2002. But I called him. I said, I'm moving. I can't keep the truck. I gotta drive to moving to North Carolina. The truck got 5 miles a gallon, literally, and like it was good for just driving around up there, but I wasn't gonna drive 500 miles and have to stop and fill up the tank how many times. And I wanted one vehicle to go because we had my truck and we had the WJ Grand Cherokee, and my wife had a vehicle too, but that vehicle, the engine blew up 2 months after she bought it from the dealership, and the dealership pretty much said, well, you bought it as is. And it was like a 2016 or something. Like, it was fairly new. And oh well. So I said, we all fit in the Jeep. I said, I'm just gonna get a trailer, put everything in there from U-Haul, drive the Jeep down, because my wife didn't want to drive a vehicle down. She wanted me to drive because she didn't want to drive that far. And so we all rode in the Jeep down. I told him that I wanted to sell the truck and I'd give him the first crack at it because I bought it from him, and he was saying how much he loved it. And oh, he really tried to. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't trade that Chevy dually for the Dodge Ram. I traded my what was it? A 99 or a 97. I think a 99 Chevy 1500, silver. I think I had a picture or two on there. It's in one of the videos. But I didn't have that very long either. I got really raked over the coals on that one. A friend of mine's dad sold it to me, and I don't think he realized how bad it was when he sold it to me. I mean, because they're very nice people. They are very nice people. I don't think he intentionally meant to. What's the best word to say? I don't think he intentionally meant to sell me a rusty piece of garbage, because the top of the truck, the body, the engine, it was perfect, but everything underneath the frame was so bad. Like, it was not safe to drive at all. Even like around as a farm truck, that was not safe to drive. Like, the frame was like being held together by like that much steel. Like, the truck was bowing in the middle between the cab and the bed. Like, it was bending. Like, if I would have put a big heavy load in that bed, the truck would have broken half. But I traded him that truck plus $1,500 for this Dodge. But I traded his grandfather, my big camo Chevy dually, for my Jeep TJ, because I bought a Jeep TJ from him. Like, I think the year before that. But anyhow, I'm rambling. Anyhow, I told him that I'd sell him the truck back, and he really tried to lowball me on it. And I just wanted what I gave him for it. And I said, I'll sell you the truck, because he asked if I had my H sitting there in the bush hog and the 2-bottom plow and a whole bunch of other stuff here sitting there in my driveway for sale. He said, what about the tractor? I said, well, I'll sell you the tractor and the truck back for, I think, $2,200 or something. I don't know. I was losing money either way. And he's like, okay. Then he gave me, I think, maybe $500 cash right there on the spot, or $900, something like that. $500 or $900 there on the spot. And he said that his grandfather would write me a check for the rest. And he took the truck with him then. And I went up. Well, no, he didn't. I drove the truck up later that day, and his grandfather gave me a ride back home. His grandfather's a great person. Like, he's getting pretty old. Like, he's over 80. He's maybe in his mid 80s, but very honest, very good guy. Never had any problems at all with him. And he sells good quality cars. Like, if it has something bad, he'll fix it before he sells it. But no, so I did that. Then he gave me the check, and I went and deposited it. Then a couple days went by or so, and I kept waiting for him to come down and pick up the tractor, because it was sitting in my driveway, and I had a whole bunch of other stuff I needed to get rid of too. And I thought about just driving it up there. I was about to just drive it up there to his pop's house, to his grandfather's house, and leave it sit there beside the truck, because it was probably like 8 miles up the road, which, that's fine. I drove that tractor all over the place. Because my grandfather's house, where I went and did stuff with the tractor and stuff, that was, I think, 11 or 13 miles down the road, the opposite direction. And I did that, no fuss at all. It happened fine. But one morning, it was early in the morning, and I hear ring, 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 ring. I look out the kitchen window. I see somebody out there sitting on my tractor. Just ring, 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 ring. I didn't realize it was that guy at first. When I sold it to you, I thought it was somebody else, because like, I had a lot of people stopping there to want to buy stuff. Like, a lot of people, and I thought it was just some random person hopped on there, tried to start it, or was trying to steal it or something. So I grabbed my gun and went out there pretty quick. Like, I had put it in my pocket. I didn't have it in my hand. It was like I didn't want them to think I was gonna hurt them. I just wanted to know if they were gonna hurt me. I was ready. But no, then I saw it was him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm here to get my tractor. And he's this other guy that I did a lot of business with there in the last year or so. I was supposed to buy the Farmall H from him. I bought bush hog and I bought some other equipment from him. He had a big mail pouch barn, had chew mail pouch tobacco on the side of the barn, and it was original. And he had a whole big like field of equipment that he'd like buy and sell and stuff. And he's like, well, that guy up there told me that this tractor was a hunk of crap and that you ripped me off on that deal. I said, you were getting a running Farmall H for $900. That is a very, very good deal. He has no problems. He hit the button, it starts up. I used it so much for everything I did. He's like, no, it won't start. You're a liar. He was getting real belligerent and getting nasty with me, starting to threaten me. And he had a rollback tow truck over across the street there in the parking lot. And he said, I ought to just hook up to that Jeep you have sitting there and drag it up the road. Let's rip it apart. I don't do well with threats. I really don't. You threaten me, I take it very, very seriously. You threaten me, if you point a gun at me, I'm going to shoot you. That's plain and simple of it. My life is more important to me and my children than yours. If you threaten me, I'm going to take it as a absolute, honest, truthful fact. But me knowing this guy for what he is, I let him go with it because he didn't have a weapon. He was just running his mouth. And I said, I did not. This tractor runs. There is nothing wrong with it. And he said, well, this guy up here told me that he came down to look at it. I said, yeah, he did. And I hit the button and it started right up. And you know what? His son got on it and he took it for a drive. He wanted to give me $300 for it. So I said there was no way, absolutely no way I would sell a running Farmall H tractor for $300. No way. No matter how bad I needed the money, I'd let it sit there. I would take it down to my grandfather's house and leave it sit there in the woods until I could get a better deal than that. While I moved to North Carolina, it'd be safe sitting there in the woods. I said, no. And he's like, well, why won't it start then? I said, well, you obviously don't know how to start it. I saw you out here. I didn't know what was going on. And he was just getting belligerent with me. He's like, just give me my money back. Just give me my money back. Give me my money back. I said, it runs. He's like, I said, you already bought it. The deal is done. You bought it. Like, it's yours. He's like, no. I want my money back. He's like, I'll take that Jeep. I'll haul it up there. You won't have a vehicle then. Yeah. But he was getting real belligerent with me. And I about had enough of it. But I said, just to get you out of here, I did not cheat you. I did not sell you a bill of goods. This tractor is a good tractor. It runs, it drives, it starts the first time you hit the button. Usually. The time I'd bet my life on it starting the first time, it wouldn't start. But 9 times out of 10, you hit that button, it starts right up. But I had the gas turned off, and he was out here pulling the choke, pushing all these buttons, and he killed the battery. The battery was dead because he was out there holding the button in, not letting off of it for a few minutes straight. And I said, I'll give you your money back. And I said, I'll give you your money back, but I just want to show you that this will start. And he was on drugs or drunk or something. It was early in the morning. He's like, just give me this amount. Just give me this much. Just give me this much. So I gave him, I didn't give him 900 back. I gave him less than 900. Because the deal with the truck, because he bought the truck and the tractor together, I think for like 22 or 2,500 or something. So I lost money on the truck and on the tractor on that deal. But I needed to sell them. And I gave him, I think, like maybe 700 or so back for the tractor, because he was like, just give me this much, just give me this much. So okay, I'll give you that much, because like, you really put me in a tough spot, because I'm moving, like I'm planning on leaving at the end of the week. Like I'm going to North Carolina at the end of the week. So like, I got to find somebody else to buy this now. Then I put it on Facebook Marketplace for I think $800. And I really regret that, because I had it sold within 30 minutes. I had, I bet 12 people message me. But the guy that get there said, it's $800 today, tomorrow it's $1,000. And the guy said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And he was. And you know what? That tractor started up and he drove it right onto his trailer. So, well, that's the way it goes. You win some, you lose some, but I ended up making more money on the tractor having sold it twice than I did just selling it the one time. So anyway, this video is getting really long. I mean, it was mainly more of a rant than anything. I doubt anybody's still watching it at 28 minutes in. If you are, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I'm gonna go and change my clothes, get ready. I'm gonna drive down to that farm where the Alice Chalmer collection is and see if I can get a hold of anybody there. And here in the next week sometime, I'm going to make a video on my diet, because I've lost over about 70 pounds already, and I want to lose about 40 more, and I'm doing pretty good, and I want to share it with people. I did want to sell it, but I mean, it's hard to sell something like that. So I'm gonna just post a video of it, and I'm gonna explain everything and do everything in detail, and I hope it works for you. But thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Have a great day. I appreciate it so much. Bye.